Big thing happening next week. CNBC and Boardroom getting ready for the Game Plan Conference. It's happening next week in Los Angeles. We're going to be talking to some of the most influential leaders across the sports landscape. But first, some news this morning on the pickleball front. All of this is, that's the segue. We're going to talk about all of this because it's become such a hot sport now that I'm playing it. No. It's the Brooklyn Aces have some new investors, including Grammy Award-winning artist Drake. That's pretty cool, by the way. An actor, entrepreneur, Michael B. Jordan, joining us right now to talk about that and everything that's going to be happening in L.A. next week. Is Rich Kleiman. He's the co-founder and CEO of Boardroom. He's also a co-owner of the Brooklyn Aces. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Do you want to talk pickleball, or do you want to talk about everything you got on tap for next week?
Let's start pickleball.
Pickleball. So how did you get these? How did you get Drake involved in this?
Drake and Kevin are very close friends.
Okay.
His whole team are very close with us, and I think this is a fun journey you're on with this sport, and I'm excited about building the brand in New York. I'm obviously, as I told you guys last time, excited about being a part of building this league, and I think this was just a fun venture for us to dive into, and obviously being able to,
Who are the best pickleball players in the country right now?
Ben Johns.
Ben Johns?
He's the #1 player in the world.
And does he make like $125,000 or something? My son wanted to know how much he would make if he was a professional pickleball player, and I looked it up, and it's not nearly as much as I thought.
No, but by the time your son plays, there'll probably be way more money. But he's making more than that. I mean, you make money from sponsorships, you make money from appearing at events.
Is your sense, though, that there are going to be people who are just killer pickleball players, or do you think there's going to be this sort of crossover situation between folks in tennis, perhaps, maybe even in ping pong, or just athletes in general, and you're going to be getting, folks from all sorts of different sports to play?
It's a combo of both. Like we had 2 women on our team last year, or this last season. It's split up in 2 seasons, that were both ex-tennis players. But I also have seen friends of mine that weren't natural tennis players pick up the game. You can see the difference, though. Like, I hit with the natural, tennis flick of the wrist, but people that didn't play tennis sometimes have a more flat shot to start. But ultimately, I think the instincts of playing tennis are going to be helpful for you.
But do you think, that match with Agassi, and, you had Chang, and you had McEnroe in there, do you think you need that kind of celebrity oomph to get this to this next place?
You're offering yourself up?
No, I'm not.
Oh,
I'm not.
I thought that's what you.
No, I mean,
good idea.
I mean, we'll take them.
Yeah.
We'll take them.
I'm D-list.
Do I think we need it long term? No. Is it a nice wind at our sails to have that type of attention to the sport? For sure, but the experience. I went to my first tournament in San Clemente a month or 2 ago. The experience over 4 days is incredible. I suggest you go. It's like being at a major tennis open, and the sport is competitive, and you find yourself, even without knowing every player, getting into it and having a team in the league. It's been fun to see true fans, early adapters to our brand. It's kind of exciting.
It's such a sport that feels adjacent to tennis, and tennis has been a challenge sport. So do you think long-term pickleball becomes bigger than tennis? And do you try to do things that are adjacent to it, meaning U.S. Open will happen here in late August.
Yeah.
Do you try to do pickleball stuff in and around it, or do you try not to because you think you want to have it as a separate?
No, listen, there's a lot of opportunity to create ancillary momentum for the sport. There's another New York team owned by my friend Jason Stein and Danny Silman and LeBron James and Maverick, and creating exhibitions in New York to bring attention to the brand and to both of our brands, obviously. But when you're there, you realize you can't compare it to tennis. I think that all these sports that are trying to break through now, it's not about comparing the WNBA to the NBA or pickleball to tennis. These are individual sports with opportunities to make money.
Can I just ask real quickly? I mean, this is a disruptive sport, just from the idea that it's disrupting tennis, it's disrupting all kinds of things. There was a big fight at our club when they turned a bunch of the tennis courts into pickleball courts. There have been police that have been called out at the local courts by us at the beach because there's so much demand and fighting for people to get on these courts to do it. There's pushback from neighbors who live nearby because they don't like the noise. It's louder.
Yeah.
I mean, is that good for the sport? Just from
it's new.
News is good.
No, I think it's new. It's something disruptive, I guess, for some people. But the truth is the sport of tennis, in my opinion, is booming right now. Watching Alcaraz and some of these young stars, once again, there's room for both of them. And I think that the flywheel of tennis versus pickleball versus paddleball is clearly all just bringing more attention to them.
Let me ask you about the TV rights.
Yeah.
So one of the things we heard Bob Iger on our air last week say, we may want to take a partner on, for example, for ESPN. I think there's a lot of folks who are trying to rethink, what the valuations of teams are, regional sports networks, big sport. How does this all play out? How does it play out in the context of pickleball, but even more largely, given your association and affiliation with the NBA and so many other sports situations?
Yeah.
How do you see this?
Well, I mean, it's obviously more complicated and also more lucrative for the NBA to think about these changes in the media landscape. For pickleball, I think it becomes an opportunity. Right now, we're approaching it, and we don't have to look at how sports have historically approached media. We can break it up. We can create more of an experience. We can give different rights to different people. But I think in the case of what ESPN is trying to do, I mean, I think that the sports media landscape in the last 10 years, media in general, has been flipped on its head. But there's going to be exciting new kind of opportunities created in the.
But you still think it's a straight line up? I mean, it has been a straight line up in terms of just valuations for everything. And the question is there ever a plateau in all of this? Does the direct-to-consumer piece of it make it harder, right? I mean, you used to be able to leverage all the cable, anybody watching cable, even if they didn't watch an ESPN. You won't have that.
Yeah.
Will people pay on the other end of it? How does that all work? And then you have the people do, linear networks even doing it as a loss leader, in some ways, because they wanted to be able to promote all their other programs.
Yeah, well, listen, I think in the traditional sense, if you were to guess, I would say that there's going to be a cap for some of these valuations at some point, right? Will an MLS team be $10 billion? Probably not, right? But there's still there's a lot of room in front of them to grow. An NFL team getting sold for $6-something billion, you have to assume how much bigger could this get. But I also think that there's now new ways to look at monetizing this. And if there are new ways and creative ways to start bringing even more revenue into some of these leagues, you will see the valuations going up. And there's such a premium on owning a sports team. People will pay to own. My pickleball team is trading at a higher price a year later. And what's really happened? It's just the excitement and the desire to be around the sport.